basically leadership is all about working with the team, working with people in an organization or anywhere, wherever you take it, right? So that requires good communication skills. So it's not about the language what we are talking about, whether we are trying to express what we have in our mind in a right form to another person. That is what most important thing, so that they can get to understand exactly what we really mean. From there, then they can take it forward and apply to do further things. So that's the foremost important skills. Like that's what is your intention behind it. You can't say something without basic intentions, expressing it. That's important. Communication skills that can make other people to understand and transform your goals, whatever you want to do. The next important skill I strongly believe is setting as an example. If you want somebody to be a follower or a great leader, then you should set as an example. If you want somebody to be punctual, you got to be punctual. I think and last 20 years, I am very sure the day one until today, before anyone gets into the place, I want to be there. That is something we call it punctuality, right? Setting as an example. Before expecting anything from people, we have to be an example to people. Not only in punctuality, in everything, whatever you want to do. You ask somebody to do something, you will have to be able to do that as you are expecting from somebody. So all these are the basic things. You have to be an example, right? The next another important skill set is positive mindset. Positive mindset, right? That's important, another important element. So see people and see what is good in them instead of seeing the weaknesses. See strengths in people. That is another kind of skill. Is very, very important. So that it's a kind of fatherly role, parental role you got to take as a leader and see what is good in them. One of my colleagues long back when I was in Malaysia, he stressed that when I was in farewell to go to United States, then he was telling that, everyone sees the weakness of people, but you see the strength in people. That is the difference. You made us all bonded with you, sir. That's what the quote he has given to me, that content he has given to me. That time I realized something, what we have done in the past, something is making a difference in people. So I put that as a strong strength of me and start to work on it. You have to start looking at what is that strong in other people and work on that, make them feel confident and work with their strength. That is another important skill you should have, seeing good in others, right? The next is self-motivation. Very, very important. Today, a lot of distractions you have, right? So, and people will get you diluted from your goals, distracted from your directions. It is very important for us to work towards our direction, because everyone won't understand the goal what we have for our own role as a leader. So you have to make people to get it. I like to state the Levin's change process, like unfreeze and then again freeze, right? Liberalize and freeze kind of motivation you should have. Make people to adapt with your culture. Then after that, make it a strong point that they have to follow what needs to be done to attain goal. Instead of personality, your own personality, look at the task, everyone to look at the task and work towards it. That is another important element which will motivate you as a leader and also everyone in the team towards it. Tolerance on mistakes is very, very important. No one is perfect in this world. You have to tolerate people's mistakes and accept it and work with them and overcome the mistakes they have. Patiently you have to work with them. That is another important skill set we should have, tolerance. It's very, very important skill, being flexible and tolerance. So otherwise no one will be willing to work with us. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more and become more, then you are a great leader. If you wanted to take that action, you have to be a doer, not just a teller. You got to be a doer, not just a teller. Can-do attitude is another important element. You should have that can-do attitude towards whatever you expect from them. So you have to have that attitude. Yes, I'm going to get it done, right? So then encourage and recognize other members for their achievements. It is not one person can achieve everything. You have to keep encouraging everyone in your team. Encourage celebrating even a small thing for people contribute towards the success of the team, right? And celebrate those own achievements and recognitions with everybody. You have to celebrate. Celebration is not big party hall meetings and so on. Celebration is just even telling an appreciation is celebration. Putting a positive thoughts to somebody is kind of celebration. We have to keep going on, right? That's important to look at. So then I would like to share something, and also the self-motivation when I was talking to you, I wanted to see. When I was working, started my career in 2003 in Malaysia as a faculty, there was a, kind of team work we have to do, we supposed to do. The man who recruited me, who selected me to work in a place, he has given me kind of a salary, and I agreed with the salary, and I was working with the salary for some time. And when I wanted to continue working in a proper motivation way, so things directly your mind will start to compare with somebody, some other people who are working with us closely. So I start to compare with somebody who are working with me and his salary and something. I understood that his salary is higher than me and his workload is not equally with me, and I was working a lot during that particular time. So my mind started to tell me, why am I getting lower salary? Why he is getting more salary than me, but equally qualified and the experience is the same? Why is it happen? That was my question basically. I think mostly I would have shared with you earlier when I was in class. So then I started to ask myself a question. When I was agreeing with the salary with the interviewer, I agreed. Yes, this salary is fine with me. This workload is fine with me. Then why my mind started to compare with somebody suddenly? When the management recruits people, they will have different kind of expectations. Maybe they want somebody to work for longer tenure, they want it for temporary tenure, we don't know. So we can't simply compare with somebody for mere salary or experience or the job you are doing. You have to just go with what you have agreed with. So that I remembered one theory what I have learned called equity theory in management, in motivation. That equity theory helped me to just overcome that problem and stay positively in an environment and motivate myself and excel. So then I found that after 2 years time, the man who was working with me was not there. Then I have worked for like 10-12 years, and then I have grown well in that organization and become and hold a topmost position over there. So this is what we have to keep working with our own ways and means to develop our own skill sets in a positive way. That's very important for us to note it. And self-realization, something we call it, reflection on our day-to-day. We are not perfect people all the time. We will have to learn and reflect, right? Sometimes when we dream, my mentor used to tell me, when we are looking at and thinking of something, our parents will suspect, hey, this man has something to think about and worry about. He's not in the right shape, they think about. Actually, no. When you teach somebody, when you talk to somebody, when you are sitting and thinking of something that is really good, that's what we call it reflection, right? Reflection, that you have to, whatever comes to you, every day you learn something, you have to reflect and understand, put it into your knowledge. Knowledge is important for success. Why? Because if you want to be successful, you have to be a strong person in knowledge. We call it IQ, right? IQ. You people have learned something called IQ. IQ is intelligence quotient. Intelligence quotient. That means the technical knowledge, thorough technical knowledge on something you wanted to do, which you have to acquire first. The content of whatever you wanted to do. As a leader, you should be strong in that, right? After you have that, then the next thing comes into picture. We call it EQ, right? Emotional quotient. Emotional quotient. That is what we call it as being honest, having tolerance with people, and like able to work with people, motivating people. Lot of soft skills we call it. Soft skills. That one IQ we call it hard skill to do your job. The soft skill is very important. Recently, I had a chance to work with someone, a strong technical content personality. Everyone know he's a topmost personality in his content, right, and technical skills. But the other side, soft skills, he was very poor. I could see that within 3 months he couldn't stand with a job. So it's equally important for anyone to survive in a job, sustain in a job with soft skills, more than your content. Content alone will not attain you good kind of leadership positions and so on. That's very important for you to take note. Yeah.